Personnel selected, Dave, toy restoration expert and YouTuber. Channel codename, Toy Polloi 2. Your mission: to collect 21,905 Miles Mayhem figures. Line them up head to toe, creating a mile of mayhem.
Hello and welcome to Toy Polloi 2 and update 3 on the Mile of Mayhem project, and my plan to collect 21,905 Miles Mayhems, line them up end to end in the hope that I can get a Guinness World Record for the longest line of action figures lined up in one go. Now in today's video I'm going to give you an update on all of the figures that have been sent in, because I've received quite a lot of them and I've had a couple of questions that have been regularly asked, so I thought I would endeavour to answer those. So let's start off by answering those questions. So the first question I'm getting asked is which versions of Miles Mayhem do I want? The main version I want is this, which is the classic Miles Mayhem that came on the card, and it also came with the Switchblade vehicle. This one I think is going to be the easiest to get because it was simply produced in the largest quantities. Next up I want this guy, which is the Venom's Revenge version of Miles Mayhem. As you can see, it is basically the same figure. It's using the same molds, but it's just cast in a beige plastic. I'm looking to use this guy as the marker figure, so every time we reach 100 Miles Mayhems I will put a beige one in so we can clearly see the 100 markers on the Mile of Mayhem. So I don't need quite so many of these. This guy obviously is the one that we're going to need thousands and thousands of. This guy here we only need a few hundred. So those are the two versions of Miles Mayhem that I'm really searching for. I know there are other versions out there, and it might be that I have to go to the other versions later on in this project if I can't find the 21,905 that I need of these, but this is the ones that I would really like to try and keep it to if possible. The next question and suggestion I've had an awful lot is why not try and do a scale mile of Miles Mayhem? So what we need to do is work out how tall Miles Mayhem would be if he was a real person. And I've had a look online at the various wiki sites for Mask, and as far as I can see there is no set height for Miles Mayhem if he was a human being. So we need to work that out, and I think the easiest way to do it is just to assume that he will be about 6 foot tall, which is a good height for a man, and as he's a villain he needs to be sort of fairly imposing. So I think 6 feet tall is what we're going to work with. Now we need to use that height to work out the scaled mile of Miles Mayhem. So a mile is 5,280 feet. If we divide that by 6, which is the height that we are giving Miles Mayhem, that works out at 880. So to get a scaled mile of Miles Mayhem we need 880 figures, which certainly feels a lot more achievable than the 21,905 that we need for a full mile. So I think we're going to add the scale mile as a milestone along the way of this project, because it's one that we will reach a lot sooner than the full mile of Miles Mayhems. So that is going to go on the spreadsheet, and I'll show you that at the end of this video. Now let's take a look at what's been sent in.
A Mile of Mayhem unboxing.
This package has come in from Kevin, and as you can see it is addressed to Toy Polloi Mile of Mayhem, so I know exactly what is in here, although it feels like there is a bit more than just a couple of Miles Mayhem figures. So let's open it up and see what Kevin has sent in. Right, oh look, there's a note, and I can immediately see a few Miles Mayhems and some larger A-Team figures. So let's see what the note says. It says, "Hi Dave, as promised I enclose a small contribution to your Mile of Mayhem challenge. It is great to finally be able to give something back after all the restoration advice and entertainment your videos have given me over the years. In addition, I also include some of my own childhood toy collection and spare parts, all in various levels of disrepair. It would please me greatly if you could do something with them, or at the very least hopefully be a welcome addition to your spares box, which I'm guessing must be the size of a shed by now. Kind regards, Kevin." Well, that's very kind, Kevin. Let's take a look at what you've sent in. So we'll start with the Miles Mayhems. I can see there's a couple of blue standard Miles Mayhems there. Actually, there's 3. Oh, there's a 4th one there. Then I can see one of the beige Miles Mayhems there. Are there any others? Oh look, there's another one. So that's, what's that, 6 new Miles Mayhems for the collection. That is a big chunk. Thanks ever so much for those. And then we've got a few other pieces. We've got some, yeah, A-Team figures. So let me just take those out. We have a nicely played with Mr. T. Looks like he's been in many battles. I can see his knee pins have started to come out. Then we have Hannibal. Actually, he's not looking too bad. He's got a bit of a tan going on, but yeah, fairly warm. Another well-loved figure. We have Faceman, who is missing his head, and then we have Murdoch, who is missing his arm. All lovely and played with, certainly seen some action. And what have we got in here? A bag of accessories. These, I'm guessing, are some A-Team pieces. Oh right, yeah, there's a few pieces for the A-Team. Some of the guns, these are the guns for those larger figures. There's a smaller gun there, not sure what that's for, must possibly A-Team as well. Then we have the pelvis for, looks like a Masters of the Universe Roboto pelvis. Oh look, there is the face's head, so maybe we can have a go at reattaching that. And I can also see Murdoch's arm. Then we have this piece, which I know is from the A-Team. It's from one of the vehicles. I think it's a sort of missile launcher or something like that. We've got a weapon for one of the Masters of the Universe figures, which is missing its handle. And we have part of the trick for Orko. All very useful pieces, and yes, those can definitely go in my spares pot at some point. They will come in incredibly handy. But as you saw, there are 6 new Miles Mayhems for the collection. So thanks, Kevin, much appreciated. This package has been sent in by Grant from Canada, and he sent me stuff before. Now, he hasn't got in touch with me to say this is a Miles Mayhem figure, but I can see on the contents it says 1 toy figure. It's fairly small, and it's obviously so interesting that the Canadian Border Force have opened this to have a quick look. So let's see what Grant has sent over. Well, it's in an old cassette box. And what have we got? Oh, there's 2 Miles Mayhems here. We've got a classic blue one. And then we have this version, which is one I'm not collecting at the moment, but you never know. I might need to add some different versions of Miles Mayhems in future. So this one is definitely going on the list. This will go in the maybe pile for the moment. So thanks ever so much, Grant. I'm going to be sending you some stickers. This package, I'm not sure who it is from, but it does say to Toy Polloi Mile of Mayhem, so we know it's definitely a Miles Mayhem figure. Let's open it up and see what's inside. We do indeed have a nice blue Miles Mayhem. And what does the note say? So the note says, "Hi Dave, I contacted you recently about watching your content and loved some of your tips on restoring vintage Star Wars. Been building a Stormtrooper army for a while, so it came in really handy. As promised, please find enclosed a Miles Mayhem I had lying around to help your cause. Keep up the great content. Cheers, Shane." Thanks, Shane. That is much appreciated. Another one to go in the pot. This package has come in from Andrew, and I can see there is a note with it which says, "Hi Dave, I hope these help with the Mile of Mayhem. I've also included some bits you may enjoy or find useful. I enjoy everything you do. Thanks for all you do and keep up the great work. I have learned so much from you. Thanks, Andrew." Well, that's really kind, Andrew. Thanks ever so much. Now let's take a look at see what you have sent in. It's all packed together in some sticky stuff. Right, oh, what have we got here? Let me get all of these out. I'll take a look. So we have got, well, let's start with the Miles Mayhem. So there are 2 blue versions of Miles Mayhems, which look absolutely fantastic. That is definitely 2 more to go in the collection there. We're slowly getting more of these, so that's fantastic. Then we have a few other pieces. We have got a little, what is that? It says not working, bad LCD battery removed. What is it? It's a tiny little robot. It looks like one of the sort of watch robots, but it's not. This is this Voltron or something like that? Maybe it's Voltron. That looks pretty cool. It's a really nice looking thing. I've not seen one of those before. I can see there's a magnet on the back. That is really cool. I'm going to have to do some investigation on that. I've never seen that before. Then we have some Transformers weapons. I can see we have, those are Soundwave's missiles. These, all stuck together. These are the weapons for some of the Insecticons. I recognise the shape of those. Then we've got some weapons for, that's one of the cassettes. I think that's, oh, it's all stuck together. That is for Frenzy and Rumble. Those are very useful. I do actually need those. I need the missiles as well for Soundwave. We have got another gun which is going to be for, I think that is Twin Twist or Top Spin. I recognise those. Another gun that I need. We've got some missiles here, which I think are for grapple or hoist maybe. And then we have some, what are these? Oh, just let me get the tape off my hands. We have got some little Shogun Warriors, and what are these? Star Wars. What are they? I've never seen these before. They're quite fascinating looking things. These are little, they're like made out of rubber. So there's a Chewbacca there. That looks like R5D4. And then we have, I can see an R2D2 and the Darth Vader in there. Those are very intriguing. They're like little sort of rubber versions of figures with a sucker on the bottom. Is that a, sort of looks like a sucker. And then there's some other ones here which are Shogun Warriors. Those are fantastic. That's really kind of you, Andrew. Thanks ever so much for all of these. I was just expecting the couple of Miles Mayhems that you were going to send. So thanks for all these other pieces. They're really fascinating. I've never seen those before. They are very intriguing. And Transformers weapons are always incredibly useful. This package has come in from Sean in the US. Now, he's sent me some things before. And he got in touch with me again to say that he had a few Miles Mayhems to send over and a couple of other bits. So there may be some other little random pieces in here. So let's take a look at what he has sent. Right, so what have we got here? Well, these little things here, he did say to me, are called Turbo Tricksters, and they are made by Tonka. And they are very similar to penny racers. I think they're slightly later in the production, maybe sort of late 80s, early 90s, but they certainly do look like penny racers. They even have a little slot on the back for pennies to go in. Those are pretty cool. Then we have this, which says on it, unknown. This is just another little sort of pullback vehicle. It looks like some sort of stunt vehicle. It's got a... Oh, that's interesting. You push the wheel down to make the rear wheels charge. Interesting toy. Never seen that before. Then we have, this is a transformer. This is one of the Micromasters, which to me, I think this guy's called Overload. Or yeah, I think he's called Overload. Does it say on the back? Yeah, Overload. So it's a little mini transformer. Turns from a truck into a robot, of course. That's quite a nice little robot. And then we've got this sort of rear section. And then a part that looks very heavily chewed. Who's had a go at that one? I think that used to sort of fit on there somehow. I will look at how to put that together later on, but I think that's a pretty nice little vehicle. Maybe I can find a replacement for that. But then what we're really looking for in today's video is Miles Mayhems. And look at this, we have got a whole load of Miles Mayhems. There are two here that even have their masks. So these are two classic Miles Mayhems with their masks. And these are the first masks I've got, actually. Look at that. That's a nice Miles Mayhem. We've got two like that. And then we have another bag here with even more in. How many have we got in here? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have the beige version as number 10. So that's 12 new Miles Mayhems. Wow, that is amazing. Thank you, Sean. That's going to make a big difference to the numbers. This package has come in from our Kenny, and yeah, I'm guessing it's another Miles Mayhem. So let's quickly open this up and see what we've got. So we have something wrapped up and a little note here which says, hi Dave, Toy Polloi, please find 2 Miles Mayhem figures enclosed. I found them on eBay. My partner and I enjoy your YouTube videos. I'm glad to be able to contribute to your Guinness World Record attempt. Happy for you to read this out on YouTube, Kenny and partner Sean. So thank you, Kenny. So let's have a look and see what is in here. Look at that, we've got 2 Miles Mayhem. So that is the classic Miles Mayhem that I'm looking for. But I've actually now got a couple of these as well. So these are slightly alternate versions of Miles Mayhem. I can't remember which vehicle this is from. I'm really aiming for the blue ones and the beige ones because I'd love it if they all looked exactly the same. But I'm going to be keeping these in the background just in case I need to get more of them to get the Mile of Mayhem. So it's not going to go to waste. That's going to go in my spares for the moment. But ideally, it's the blue guys and the beige guys that I'm after. But that is amazing. Thank you ever so much. I'm going to be sending you a special Mile of Mayhem sticker. Thanks to everyone who has taken the time to help out with this project. You will be receiving one of these exclusive Mile of Mayhem glitter stickers. These are incredibly limited in number because I only ordered a few of them. So once they are gone, they are gone. But for now, you will be receiving one of these. When they're all gone, I'm not quite sure what I'll do, but I'll sort out something of a similar vein for the next round. But yeah, thanks again for helping out, and you will be receiving one of these in the post very shortly if you haven't already received it. Let's add all of those new Miles Mayhems to the spreadsheet. So at the start of this video, I had 36 Miles Mayhems. We can add all of those new ones to the list, and that gives us now a total of 63 Miles Mayhems, which means we now have 4.63 meters worth of Miles Mayhems. That still doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually means we've passed a couple of big key milestones because a UK double-decker bus is only 4.37 meters tall. So we now have enough Miles Mayhems to be taller than a UK double-decker bus. Also, the average size of a giraffe is somewhere between 4.3 meters and 5.7 meters. That means we now have enough Miles Mayhems to be as tall as an average sized giraffe, and that is pretty tall. And so there we go, that is it for this update on the Mile of Mayhem project. As you can see, we are starting to get quite a nice collection of Miles Mayhems, and it really feels like we are getting somewhere. I'm still trying to get in contact with any former Kenner employees to find out exactly how many Miles Mayhem figures were produced, so if anyone does have a contact, then please get in touch with me. But in the meantime, thanks to everybody who has contacted me about the project and has sent in donations. I'm still hunting for Miles Mayhem figures everywhere I go, and I will do an update within the next few months to let everybody know how it's going. But for now, we are certainly getting somewhere with this project. So thanks again, and thanks for watching.